With the back straight, let's close our eyes and center ourselves to the space of restful awareness. By breathing in very slowly and deeply, bring yourself to this present moment. Let's invoke Swamiji to this space. You may now join the palms together in Namaskar Mudra. Let's chant the Satguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamurtim Jvatitam Gaganashatrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Savadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Tatguruntam Namami. All right, so a very warm welcome to all of you who are attending this session for the very first time. So I know many of you are attending because you are just joined the Gurukul team as part of the admin. So let me just introduce myself very briefly, then we can dive straight into the training itself, the orientation. Okay. So my name is Nithyananda, and my spiritual name given by Swamiji. I've been in the Gurukul team since 2011. So you're talking about almost 9 years now. By June this year, you'll be a complete 9 years. Okay. So basically, working with kids is my passion. I love to work with kids because they are the most fun, and they are just pure innocence and joy to be with. So I spend most of my time in the Sangha working on Gurukul. It's only recently that I've taken up the responsibility for Singapore Sangha in the last probably 4 months now. So, but I'm still very much involved in the Gurukul basically team working with Joyce and Ma White, and also the rest of the Gurukul leads in different zones. Now, so that's a little bit about myself, and I want to basically dive straight into the training. I know all of you are actually excited to be part of this team. Okay, I tell you, it's the best team to start in the Sangha because it's your shortcut to enlightenment. I'll tell you the secret later. Those who work in a Gurukul team is shortcut to enlightenment. Okay, so let me just share the document which I put together for this. By the way, this is one of my favorite Swamiji picture. Just in case you do not know, I have it on my mobile phone. In that picture, he was doing the initiation in the Nithyananda for the kids, the 10-day program in 2017, and that was the darshan that he was giving. He came in as a Kala Bhairava. So anyway, so today I'm just going to give a quick orientation for the Gurukul administrators, fundamentally giving you an understanding what's your role and responsibility. Okay, see, before that, the Gurukul structure was quite flat or straightforward. That means we just have, Ma White, and then after that we just have acharyas, and of course the acharyas will be working very closely with the local mahants and the team. But right now, because of the rapid expansion of the online Gurukul, with Swamiji's vision of increasing that into thousands of Gurukul, online Gurukuls. So the structure, a flat structure, can no longer work properly because too much overloading on one person. So we needed to essentially form a different hierarchies of roles and responsibility given the demand of the different reporting requirement, as well as tracking the progress of the children, and also working very closely with the parents. So you must understand that when you're working with the children, you're also working with the parents. They go hand in hand, especially is in the online scenario, because uh, you're not physically there with the kids. So the parents' integrity is a very fundamental part to ensuring that the kids are present in the online session. So I want to help you understand how everyone plays a different role to ensure we all work together to make Gurukul happen. Okay, so I want to share with you a very fascinating revelation given by Kala Bhairava in 2012. Okay, there was a question given asked by one of the devotees. I forgot which country. The person asked, will Vedic tradition and Gurukul system become the mainstream system? So Lord Karavairava said, Vedic tradition and Gurukul system will become mainstream in the next 20 years. Okay, so that's 2012. 2012, now we're already 8 years down. Okay, you're talking about another 12 more years. Okay, be very clear. All of you here are going to be the pioneers of, this revival of the Vedic learning system called Gurukul. So, which means the earlier you get onto it, the more you're going to see the whole growth and expansion. And you can also learn and expand at the same time. Because this is going to be the future. That's what Swamiji said. I'm telling you, the future is Gurukul system. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, Gurukul is going to be the mainstream education system moving forward. The what I foresee is that the Western education system, or Macaulay Western education system, will collapse in the next 5-10 years. You know why? It is a system that is not going to help kids, because whatever they learn is not going to be applicable in their real life. You will see a lot of graduates, they get their degree, but they have no job because everybody is studying the same thing. There's no uniqueness. They can't contribute. The whole education system will collapse. Okay? Now, and Swamiji's vision is every village, every city, every town should have a Gurukul. That is his vision. So he said every Sri Kailasa ecosystem will have a Gurukul. Okay? So he's saying that more and more Gurukul, whether it's a big scale, small scale Gurukul, should pervade the whole entire globe. Because that's when kids are the most happiest, and kids are the most, what you call it, I would say, ability to discover their ultimate potential, only in the Gurukul system. Okay, so let's look at, this is what Swamiji had for the vision. He's his passion in Gurukul. Can someone mute when you just joined, because I can hear the background noise. Okay, great. So understand that Gurukul is going to basically allow kids to really, really fall in love with learning again. The Western education makes the kids run away or resist learning. But Gurukul is going to be the system that make learning a joy. inspirational, and creative. So that's it's going to be the revolution. I would say the revolution in the education system. Okay, and that is the reason why so much attack has been on Gurukul. See, those, if we look at all the enlightened masters or guru on, right now, the famous gurus, whatever you call it, those who do not have Gurukul, they are very sick. That means they don't receive the kind of attack of persecution like Swamiji. Understand? And you should know why. Let me tell you why. Okay? So I'm just going to go straight. Gurukul means Guru's home. Literal meaning is becoming part of Guru's family. So when a child joins Gurukul, it means the child is becoming part of the Guru's family. The Gurus take the child in as his own. And this is a very education process in the Vedic tradition, okay? That fundamentally works on awakening you. It means awakening the child to its ultimate reality of who the child is. It means awakening to the original state of consciousness. So it's not just about giving some words, ideas, concepts, theologies, or theories, which the Western education system is all about. But it's about make sure the child is awakened by the time they reach 21 years old. Okay, so that is Gurukul system. You should understand also that Gurukul used to be the backbone of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So in the ancient times, this is the most, I would say, prevalent education system in Bharat. Bharat means not just India, the whole region where the Enlightenment science are being lived and practiced. Okay, if you look at the original Bharat, uh, geographical area of Bharat, it spanned a huge area right out to Southeast Asia, to China, to large part of Middle East, and of course, India and all that. So this was the education system, and children live with the living master, enlightened master, in their home at the age of 7. By the age of 7, the parents send their children to the guru. And these kids learn all the subjects invite the space of the master, expressing Shakti and powers effortlessly. So they go through all kinds of training under the guidance, direct guidance of an enlightened guru. Okay. And you should know that Swamiji told that Gurukul is basically an incubator for producing enlightened beings and incarnation. Like all the great incarnation, Lord Rama, Krishna, all of them study in Gurukul. Because he said that even if you're consciously born as a soul with all the spiritual experiences and power, you need to study the scripture, the Shastra, Pramana, right? To validate your experience, especially when you want to reproduce that experience and powers in others. That means you're going to be trained as another guru incarnation. It means you're going to initiate people. So that's why Gurukul is needed for incarnation. And if you want to share Gurukul is needed because it is an important factor to make incarnation complete. It means whenever they have come down as a purpose as incarnation, the Gurukul is what make them complete in order to do their mission of whether it's reproducing whatever gift they are going to share with the world, which is initiation and giving enlightenment. Okay. And one thing you should know is the fundamental uniqueness of Gurukul. It is The, Gurukuls are education centric, not teacher centric. That means it doesn't focus too much on the teacher. It's about where student can develop, invent something which his guru doesn't know. See, in the Gurukul, Swamiji gave the Balasans a lot of freedom. Basically, he just gave them the basic formulas to awaken the knowledge which are being taught. Then the Balasans are left free to explore on their own, whether it's music, whether it's in the field of even IT, anything. They just give them the tools and give them the broad understanding, and they are free to explore. So they are even able to invent something that the guru hasn't, discovered. So that is the kind of freedom the space of Gurukul or the space of the guru uh, creates in, the ambience of Gurukul. As a result, Gurukuls are not the with a set of rules or frame. They only supported people to explore the highest possible creativity and potential. So the guru is the divine guide, the light in the darkness. So guru only gives that guidance, but the guru gives them the breadth and the depth of freedom to explore. So that is the uniqueness of Gurukul. See, like in a lot of modern education, um, like parents are comfortable when there is a set curriculum. Or this semester they're doing this, next semester they're covering this topic, and so on and so forth. But in Gurukul, it's about self-discovery. It's about giving the children the, you know, taking the inspiration and ownership, responsibility to discover knowledge and the experience for themselves, not waiting to be fed by the system or the teacher. So that is a big fundamental shift in the Gurukul. And a lot of time, see, when kids are spending a lot of time to discover their interest, their passion, whether it's subject of interest or things they are really, really, fascinated to pick up, see, that is the main key motivation for learning. Understand? See, Swamiji says that in one of the satsang, he told all the Gurukul Balasan, the kids, say anything you can Google, don't bother to study. Everybody will be able to find the information just with a few buttons and clicks. You should be focusing your time on things that does not, where you cannot find on Google, anything on the internet. That is where the real knowledge, the real differentiation comes about. Understand? So that's why he said, anything that you can find in the Google, please don't waste all the time there. Just go and find and, don't stress yourself over things that everybody can find on the internet. And it is so true because now we're living in the IT age. Why do you want to stress the kids, for something that is already available everywhere? And that's what the whole education system right now is focused. Whatever they are taught, the syllabus it can be available in the education system. I mean, in the internet. So, in fact, right now I'm seeing kids. I don't know about the rest of the part of the world, but in Singapore, the kids are becoming trained to become exam savvy. It means learning how to answer questions for exam, but they don't know the real skill set to live life. Do you understand the difference? The difference of real learning should be giving them the independence thinking, to be a dynamic leader, not learning how to spot question to answer exam question and vomit the same answer for the exam paper. Understand? This is what's happening in the education system. So I don't really bother about The education system now, I told my son is 16, he's turning 17. I told him, just get all the basic education system, completed. I want you to spend real time in developing your passion. But if you want to set up a business, go and study all that. Go and learn from the best master on the internet. Learn from the best. So that's what I told him. I'm now, of course, learning from Swamiji's and all his teaching as well. But what I'm saying is that for real, education, it needs to be something that they can use and be practical. Okay, so that is the uniqueness of Gurukul, giving the kids the freedom to explore and create. That is that should be the ingredients for learning, not making them dull, making them afraid of exam. Okay, so like I said, Gurukul is a spiritual incubator for new species. You should all know by now, Swamiji is creating a new species on planet Earth. Okay, with a new DNA, Paramashiva DNA. So we have a living avatar who is radiating the Paramashivatva. So he's transmitting that biomemory, bioenergy to the kids at a faster rate. That faster so it can be done in the Gurukul, especially right now with his, after the great pause last year, the level of energy he radiates and the initiation he's able to give, it's, increased many fold. So when a child is in the Gurukul, it really strengthens their inner world, as a prime importance, which makes the outer world success incidental. I mean, it's all about powerful cognition, about how to basically be a master of their own life. Isharatva, basically a lot of your own life. So it's about strengthening insight, giving them the knowledge of how to handle themselves, how to handle the world and the whole universe, multiverse, different dimensions. Teaching them all these different skill sets to play with power, play with, to relate with different beings, higher beings from different dimensions. That should be what learning should be all about, not just learning how to, pass the exam. But after they finish the exam, go to the society, go to the real world, they are handicapped, they don't know how to function. And they fall into depression, they fall into, anxiety attack. So that shouldn't be the case. Make them strong internally and they will be able to be such a powerful conscious form in the new world. Okay? The balancers were trained in each subject to see if a particular subject has become thought current of the child. So it's all about, how you experience your thought current, you carry about you, the world, the universe, and the divine energy, right? So the expansion of consciousness of children, where 100% of brain is used and knowledge is just downloads for the kids. So which means the way they learn will be very different. Because as you know that our current education system focuses a lot on left brain centric learning, which is information fed to them. They just have to remember and then reproduce the information. Logic, regurgitation of the information. Whereas in Gurukul, the kids learn how to use 100% of the brain, which means their subtle brain grooves are also awakened to be able to catch the subtle truth and also things that beyond the logic. They are able to catch things that beyond the logic, where, the mind is not required for them to experience. The mind is actually redundant. To be able to go beyond the logic means you don't need the mind. They know how to use the mind when it's needed, but they don't need the mind. They know how to go beyond the mind to be able to experience the higher dimension of the reality. Okay? And if they want to learn about something, they can download, they can have access to the cosmic archive, just like, you know, downloading whatever information they need, where the cosmic library is there. So this is the way how these kids will be learning, to be honest. That's what Swamiji said. That's why he doesn't place too much importance on studying the subject, but more about exploration, more about learning from the past ancient scriptures and the knowledge which has been kept by the enlightened master. Okay, so the outcome is we are creating geniuses and future leaders. They are not just your accountants, your clerk, your lawyer, and who is going to be hired by someone and be made to work as a worker, employee. What Gurukul will create is not just great dynamic future leaders, conscious leaders, and geniuses in different fields, where the whole brain learning is given in a stress-free environment, where there's no violence, aggression in kids, only love, compassion, and playfulness. And kids are learning ahead of time. That means they learn quicker because they are so passionate about learning. The way they are able to pick up subjects, things are quicker than the normal kids. And a lot of kids had very high IQ score. Now I think even more. Okay. And excellent health with strong immunity because of the yoga training and all that, mantra chanting, all helps in their uh, all different aspects of health, whether it's physical health, mental health, emotional health. And of course, with the initiated awakened third eye, where they are manifesting Shakti. Understand? So these kids, if they are able to come under the direct guidance of a living avatar, you can imagine their future is going to be not only bright, I can't even say bright, it's like unprecedented on planet Earth. Each child potential. And the best part is you should know when a child studied in the Gurukul, the Guru not only awakens his past bio memory, which the soul comes with, the Guru also upgrade and update his bio memory for what the child needs to do in this birth, the life purpose the child needs to do. So can you imagine what the Guru can do to the child? Not only awaken whatever this child has accumulated in the past janma, past birth. The Guru ensures he gives him new initiation to update his software, hardware, so that he can do whatever he needs to do in this body. Okay? So that is the beauty of having a enlightened Guru in a Gurukul. Hmm? So, unfortunately, the British discover the key potential of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And they know the Gurukul system is the backbone of this so-called this lifestyle. And they have decided that they are going to destroy this ancient education system in order to break this strength in the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So this destruction already started many hundred years ago, at least 200 years ago. That's why what you're seeing today now, all the kids, all the people, mostly in India, most of them have gone into the mainstream education system and being replaced by this logic, this Swamiji, so 80s, and also the, what you call it, the 80s racists or whatever he called that. Those who are only function at the logic level, not able to have the subtle brain growth to grasp the deeper part of the learning. Okay, so this is what is happening. About 200 years ago, the seed has already been planted to destroy Gurukul. This is the only way to break India and the strength of India in the spirituality and the Gurukul system. Okay, so the Gurukul system was successfully destroyed by after the British colonization. The whole science was lost, to be honest with you. And so the science of producing most intelligent divine beings was also lost, along with this loss of Gurukul system. So our kids become what? Clerks, accountants, bankers, engineers, software engineers, forever under the mercy of somebody. They are just paid employees. And so much new opportunity in humanity were lost also. Understand what is done to the consciousness of the kids and our future. So because of that, Swamiji has to assume the body and come down to change the whole thing. He said he came down for two things: revive Gurukul system and revive temple, build more and more temple. So if you are in these two missions, it means building Gurukul and temples, be very clear, you are in his wanted team. And you should know that when you build Gurukul, you are building temple as well, because the Gurukul system is a temple-based education system. Everything is centered around the deities and the temple. So if you build Gurukul, you have temple as well. It's two in one. That's why I told you it's a shortcut to enlightenment. Okay. So now, the Gurukul Nithyananda, I just want to talk about where we are right now within Nithyananda Sangha. Okay, we have evolved so much since 2011. Okay, where I was part of the pioneer group where Swamiji started this N Vidyalaya, and Vidyalaya, which is kind of like the the I would say like a weekend Gurukul, just for two hours per week. The kids come and learn about the Vedic science and all that. It was just to get started. That was even before he started the Gurukul itself. Okay, the residential Gurukul. Then of course he started residential Gurukul in Bidadi as the very first Gurukul within the Sangha, and then now it started growing. Okay, so residential Gurukul is called Nithyananda Gurukul, and then we have the weekend Gurukul, which is where kids come to the temples or adinams or satsang center or Padaka Mandir to have a weekly 2-3 hour session of spiritual program. Right now it's based on the Enlighten app. Everything is now centered on the Enlighten app as the content or curriculum. Then we have the online or evening Gurukul. Okay, so these online session 2-3 hours depending on the session conducted by acharyas using the Enlighten app. So these are what is currently available. Understand? See, eventually Swamiji says that we need to start with online Gurukul, then slowly when you have enough, I would say, community of parents and kids wanting to live this lifestyle, then the residential Gurukul will happen naturally as a byproduct, or it's the evolution of that community. Understand? You can't start residential Gurukul just like that. Of course, Swamiji can, because he's the avatar. He knows how to how to make it happen. But for outside of India, right? So for us, you need to somehow get started somewhere. So online Gurukul or evening Gurukul is the stepping stone before we can start to have the critical mass of having a school, a residential school. Because to set up a residential school means what? A lot of resources are needed, right? You need the parents to be there volunteering. You need to have a lot of administrator. You need to have the physical premise, everything. Then you need to have the temple. You need to have the goshala. All that start to, aggregate. So to build the authentic Vedic Gurukul, you need a lot of resources because of our system. A modern education system is so much far away from the way how the original Gurukul was set up, right? So to get back to that lifestyle, many steps needs to happen before we can really manifest a residential Gurukul. Yes, understand? So, so that's why whatever you're doing as a beginning to start as an online Gurukul, be very clear. You are helping to build eventually for a physical Gurukul to manifest. Okay. Right now, we have, like I mentioned, because of this expansion Swamiji wants quickly to reach out to the kids and the parents globally, he gave the online possibility last year, right? So with online, one thing great is that you are now liberated from the constraint of like having to go to the center, the constraint of the teacher, availability of teacher and the space. Like, oh, I don't have a center, I can't send my kids there. It used to be this struggle for the last, 6, 7 years. Then if the teacher has been trained, then after that, if the teacher move away or whatever, then the whole thing collapse again. You understand? So with online Gurukul, many things are possible because now it's beyond time and space. But of course, with online, you also come with certain limitations, right? Like you're not there physically, the kids are not able to feel the physical contact and all that. So there are some give and take. It is not optimal, of course, but it is still uh, if we weigh the need to go mass versus the need for physical contact, that will evolve when the community is ready. Okay, so that's why we have now. Originally, we just only have Gurukul Acharyas. Now we have created a few more subcategories. We have the Gurukul admins. Okay, then we have the Acharyas who are responsible for teaching, and then the Gurukul co-lead and registrar, which is helping to manage a lot of the administrative reporting, pulling everything together. Then the leads, the zonal leads are the one overseeing. It's almost like regional head. Then you have the the country head, and then you have the sales manager running the show, and then you have the executive doing all the running around. So if you think that way, it's almost similar like that. Then of course all go back to report to the head of Gurukul, online Gurukul, which is my wife. Okay, so this is how we're structured now, which means even today you start as an online Gurukul admin. Be very clear, you have a upgrade path. Whenever you feel that you're ready, you can become an acharya, a teacher, where you physically teach kids. Then when you feel that, you can take on more, you can become a registrar or co-lead, where you eventually rise up to become the lead. That means the head of a region, a head of a few countries under you. These are possible expansion, the path of expansion for anyone. But starting everybody who start brand new will be come in as admin first, so that you learn the whole basic things about enriching and how to learn about how to work with kids and how to work with parents as a first kind of fundamental understanding how to contribute to be part of Gurukul. Understand? Now, so what is your role as a Gurukul admin? So I just want to list that down so that you can give you imagination. See, if you can understand that acharyas are the one who is going to deliver a Swamiji's teachings, facilitating, the kids, bringing them to higher consciousness, giving them the powerful cognitions and holding the space for them to flower, to manifest powers, etc. That's the role of the acharya. Okay. Whereas for the admin, you can support acharyas in these different ways. For instance, okay, one of the most important thing is when you start becoming a devotee or a, a disciple of Swamiji, you will learn how to live the four powers or tattvas of integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. And what's best is to be able to use or live these four powers in the environment like Gurukul. I tell you, in Gurukul, to survive in Gurukul, you need to, I would say, live with a lot of authenticity. Not just integrity is not enough, authenticity. Because the kids are the most authentic beings you can find on planet Earth because they are not corrupted yet by the society. So their authenticity is unimaginable. If you're not able to be authentic, they will show you your inauthenticity and they will not cooperate with you or they will not listen. So authenticity is basically the key to be able to, guide them and have their listening. Understand? They can sense your authenticity. If you are authentic, you will have them. They will be able to be inspired by you. Okay? So be very clear. This is the best training ground for you to leave the four powers in Gurukul. This is my experience. Okay. Then also every week when the session is happening online, where you oversee and help to document the kids' engagement and participation, the kids' progress, as you observe the class by the acharya. When you observe, you start to also pick up things. Okay. So, where is the typo error? Registrar. Okay. So, and you have to report to the registrar who is actually pulling all the information for tracking, whether it's attendance of the kids, attendance of, how kids are performing in terms of their yoga. Are they able to chant the mantra in the Guru Puja? Are they able to grasp the powerful cognition given by Swamiji? Are they able to, chant the Shastra Pramana for each powers that they're manifesting? Are they able to articulate confidently how to, manifest the power? All that. You start seeing how the kids flower, blossom each week. And you're able to help to record, I would say, report to the registrar so that the registrar is able to keep track. See, like in even a normal school, you have report book, right? Your form teacher is supposed to record, okay, this student has, passed this subjects and the behavior, the character, how the kids is, the attendance, all these are needed, right? For a normal school. Same way, this is also needed. Even though it's an online Gurukul, we also need to track all the basic things so that we know whether it's the child consistently attending the session or you only come once a while and then disappear for the rest of the year? Or is this child really, really catching along with the teachers, the acharyas who are, sharing all the higher truth? So all this needs to be somehow tracked and given a report. Okay, so the admin is responsible for helping to report to the registrar, based on the session. So then every week you have 1 hour zonal meeting by your respective zone. Let's say you're in Europe or in Asia, so you will attend the respective zonal meeting. Like for Asia, it's Friday evening at 9:30 local time and 7 p.m. IST. And then, of course, Europe is a different time zone on Saturday, and then so on and so forth. Each zone will they have their own zonal meeting. Okay, so you have to attend the zonal meeting. You don't need to attend the global Acharya meeting on Monday, but you have to attend the zonal meeting on whichever zone you belong to at least once a week, so that you catch up what is happening not only within your zone and what is happening at the global level through the leads. Understand? See, Mawat said that as a Gurukul admin, you need to commit minimum 2-3 hours per week. Okay? This is the minimum commitment. For Acharya, you need to commit at least 5 hours, right? Including all the zonal meetings, all the teaching and all that. So to be an admin, we're only minimally requesting you to be able to commit 3 hours per week to do this seva, to contribute to the Gurukul in your country or in your city. And most important thing that you need to do as an admin is creating top of funnel activities in enriching and recruiting kids and parents. See, the acharyas are the one, although they are also teaching and enriching, but the admin, when you're inspired, when you enjoy the work with the kids, the space of the child, and how Swamiji is transforming this future generation, that inspiration should drive you to start enriching more and more kids and parents. Find out what's the best way to grow the Gurukul. So like for start, you have 5 kids, and how to grow the kids. And so Mawai already given the target. Each online Gurukul should have 50 kids. When you reach 50 kids, then you're ready for the next level. Understand? So we should try to grow the size to 50 kids. That is what, the scale you should aim for. Growing and enriching more and more kids. And how to manage 50 kids and their progress. That is going to be the next level of challenge if you are seriously interested in this expansion. And of course, you yourself should start attending the courtyard session or manifestation. Then you understand what the kids are experiencing, what are the parents are experiencing, enrich them to attend the power manifestation session conducted by Mahavai, because that is one of the powerful way to shift the parents. Once they see they themselves manifesting and they understand how the kids are manifesting, they will be committed to become part of this whole learning system. And of course, attending the orientation by the lead. I happened to train this time round because as a request by Ma, White and Joy. Okay, and of course, attending enlightened parenting session weekly. See, globally, we have different sessions being conducted by a selected group of leads who has been ordained, I would say, approved by Ma White to also conduct live session of the enlightened parenting. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the first session in this year. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Singapore time, which is 4:30 IST. Okay, so attend the parenting session, enlightened parenting session, because it is only by attending enlightened parenting session you will know how to talk to parents. You know how to shift where they're stuck. You know how to trigger or press the hot button for them to want to bring the kids to Gurukul. Understand? So if you ask me, these are a few things: enriching parents and kids, attend a parenting session. We also make sure you attend the meeting weekly with the zone. These are all the fundamental things. And start to be creative. How can you basically become a great support for this whole mission to take off? That means you're the frontliner. You're the frontliner to go and bring more and more kids to Swamiji. And of course, kids won't come by their own because they are under the care of the parents. So there is another beings you need to help to enrich so that they move, they start to be shifted to the enlightened consciousness. Only in enlightened parenting they start to see that possibility. Understand? Okay, so am I clear what's your role now? Give me a thumbs up, you are clear. So I see all working as a team, very solid team. The admin part, feeding at the ground level, all the information and also recruitment and giving kids access to all the different activities to come and experience, have a taste of Gurukul. Then, the acharyas will do its job of conducting and creating the space of possibility for the kids and transmitting, become a pure channel for Swamiji to transmit whatever he wants to transmit to the kids. That is the acharya role. Okay. Then if you want to grow into leadership role, then you go into the lead role, registrar role, all that start to come in when you start to become, you want to expand into the leadership consciousness. It means becoming a leader of a group. So that whole entire upgrade path opens up if you have the ambition and aspiration to rise up to become a leader within the Gurukul team. Understand? So now, what are the multiple level of enriching? So recruit more parents and kids, inviting the family for lessons and program, keeping records of kids and attendance, maintaining kids' progress reports, supporting the acharyas, updating the zonal registrar, what is happening, the attendance, all that stuff. And basically that's what I put in a pictorial way, what you should be doing in the whole picture. And I'm telling you what a lot of I'm giving example of the Chinese, the Gurukul Chinese team. Initially, we had a lot of struggle because the new admins are not able to understand what is their role. Because they don't understand their role, they are not bringing kids to this system yet. They are waiting. They don't know how to enrich. They are not able to, reach out and expand. So if they are able to understand clearly what is their role, then there will be no overlap and they will be able to do their job beautifully without being told by the leads again and again. They will be able to be inspired by their own initiative, inspiration to contribute to Gurukul expansion and making Gurukul happen in wherever they are. They will be able to somehow start enriching, creating more and more stronger, enlightened ecosystem for Gurukul. Understand? Yeah. When you don't know your role, this is where you're waiting for someone to tell you. Now I'm clearly telling you what is your role so that you will not wait for the leads to tell you, the acharyas to tell you. you start enriching, reaching out to the kids and the parents and teachers. Okay. So these are the important links I want to share with you. Okay. One of the important links is the registration for Acharyas and admin. This is the link. I'm sure to become an admin, you need to have registered that. Okay. Then there is a attendance link where we keep the attendance of not only all the meetings you attend and all the sessions you attend. So that is also an attendance list that we keep track, the registrar keep track. We'll not only keep track on the kids, we also keep track on the admins and the acharya so that we know whether they are integrated to the commitment that they have given to this seva, which is to attend the meeting, to attend the the session, keep track of the reporting and all that. So these are some of the systems that are put in place to start recording, keeping track of the attendance or the admins and also the acharya. Okay. Shall we conclude with the Pura mantra? Yes. Thank you all for joining. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Tat Tovam Bhagavashi Nithyananda Paramashiva Paruka Paramastu Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam.